Hello, it is Tuesday, so that means that it's Closet Tuesday. And so today I'm going to tell you what I'm about to do in somebody's closet. Last week I took a couple of days off because I was exhausted, but I did manage to take one other client before I took those couple of days off. And we kind of we mutually agreed that I don't know how to say this, but you know how some people love triple chocolate cake, frosted candles, and sugary sweet cinnamon crunch fragrance sprays and all of that? Well, I mean, that's okay. I mean, if you're living alone and you just want to knock yourself out with some cake-oriented, sugary sweet fragrance, that's great. But if you're living with someone, which is the case of this client, and he hates those fragrances. He hates them. Actually, they were knocking me out too because they were a little bit too strong. Strong fragrances in your closet is not always the way to go. Even though it does hide a multitude of sins, nobody's got that much funk that they got to try to parade over it with all of that. That's just too much. I mean, it was knocking me out. And so nevertheless, I mean, it's like, and this client knows that I'm talking about this today because you need to kind of work with the people that you're living with. Now, unfortunately, she shares a closet with her boyfriend. They are so cute together. They are featured in a YouTube video that I have done, so they know I'm talking about this, so it's okay. But anyway, that closet was knocking me out. This is one time I agree with the man. I'm like, honey, you got to get rid of some of this. I mean, hers was like peppermint patty, chocolate frosting spray, and it was all over that closet. And so, first of all, when you use strong fragrances like that, there is a transference of fragrance. Just like when you use strong mothballs, I've already told you guys, get the Parazine. They come in little packages because they do transfer. I mean, the regular mothballs, they do transfer the odor onto your clothes, and you just don't want that. Or otherwise, use other essential oils. And this is what I'm going to tell you about this trick. This is what I'm about to put in her wardrobe because I've actually removed all the fragrance satchels that she has in there, and I'm going back in there after I've already put this in there last night, getting ready for me to come in today. Subtle fragrances are always the way to go. They're much better. Everyone can tolerate it. And people usually don't have any kind of allergic reaction to a subtle fragrance. And I know that, you know, although her fragrances were strong and they were food-based, you know, usually sugary food-based, look, I mean, it's best to kind of go with a subtle food base, like a lavender or an orange or a lemon, something like that. So we're talking about fruit and flower, but not flowers as in, oh, it smells like rose petals with chocolate dip or something. No, not like that, because I mean that just becomes another mess. I mean, and also don't get ridiculous. I mean, you go, oh gee, I want my closet to smell like macaroni and cheese and steak. You know, don't get ridiculous, okay? But a nice subtle fragrance is really good. And how you get a subtle fragrance is this. Baking soda. Hello. This is your best friend. I mean, I know a lot of you probably have it in your fridge, but this works fabulous when you actually put it in a container. I know most people say put it in like a coffee filter. Because I love the environment, I don't want you to use a coffee filter. I want you to use something that you use every day in your everyday life. And usually that's a glass jar. However, I have a lot of these. These are actually good old plastic containers that I do reuse a lot. I don't know where the lids are. It's just like socks. You put 2 socks in the washing machine. There's only one that comes out. I don't know where the other one went. I just don't. Same thing with these lids. I put them up. I am very neat. I'm very organized with it, but I don't know where the lids are. Something is coming in here taking it. You know, in fact, every time I'm in the shower, I always feel like somebody's walking in the house. I mean, it's like, you know, have you ever been in the shower and all of a sudden you start hearing sounds and, oh, who's there? And I'm like, yeah, hello? Hello? Who's there? Anybody here? Hello? And then it's like, you know what, it's so funny. It's like they're really going to answer like, oh yeah, it's me, the friendly criminal. I'm just letting you know I'm coming in the house. I mean, it's so dumb. But anyway, nevertheless, I don't know where these lids go, but I have actually taken a lot of my lidless pots like this. I did this last night. I filled it with half filled it with baking soda. And then I put this in it, essential oils. Now this is lavender. You put only 5 or 6 drops. That's plenty. It gives you a subtle fragrance, and it also makes the closet smell neutral with a hint of lavender. Or you can do a hint of orange, or a hint of grapefruit, or a hint of lemon, but nothing really, really, really loud in there that, you know, is going to scare the boyfriend or scare the cat or somebody, you know, scare them away. And then what you do, because I know a lot of you are probably like, well, oh my gosh, well then something's going to fall in this bowl, and then I'm going to be like baking powder all over my sweater and sleeves and all this stuff. Now, okay, you don't leave it uncovered. Duh. I mean, you do put a cover over it. I mean, if you're not using a coffee filter, if you're using a coffee filter because you don't really like the environment and you don't care, you can actually take a rubber band and just close up the top of the coffee filter, and that one actually works perfectly to lay down on the floor of the wardrobe. However, if you do it this way, take some parchment paper just like this. This is actually featured in a YouTube video whereby you see me placing it in the closet. And I have actually taken a little thing that you hold corn on the cob with, and I've just put holes in it. You put holes in it like this, little tiny holes. Or you can make bigger holes. And then you just simply place it over the container like this, and you put a rubber band around it, and it holds. It holds quite beautifully. Same thing with my baking soda that I have in a jar. I have little jars like this, and I do the same thing with the corn things. I put the parchment paper over them after I put the essential oil, of course, and then I just put the rubber band over it, over the top. And it just, this can actually sit in your drawer with the holes in it, and of course with essential oils. I mean, don't just, well, you can stick just baking soda by itself. You know that baking soda absorbs all kinds of odors. And this is really great for people who've got like funky feet, and for some reason, or actually their boyfriend has funky feet. That's a discussion that I'm going to have later on when I go back today. You know, I think she's trying to mask a fragrance that belongs to somebody that lives in the house, that shares that closet with her. You know, I'm like that kind of person, whereas if I'm in a relationship, hey, do not give me any kind of smell. I mean, it's like, you know, I'm like baking soda up, you know, so it's, so anyway, that's sort of like a hint for being in the closet on Tuesday. Hopefully that helps you, and I will be with you next time to talk about some other stuff. And if I missed anything, or if you'd like to kind of like get some helpful hints on something, let me know. I'm actually looking because my foot went to sleep. It's like it's tickling me. Okay, so goodbye, and I'll see you next time. Mwah! Love you. Bye.